Thanks for staying with us. Now, the opposition NDC says it will not allow Founders Day to be changed to August 4 as proposed by the president. National chairman of the party, Kofi Potofi, made the statement while addressing party faithful and pressmen after a walk through some Principal Street here in Accra in commemoration of September 21 as Founders Day. A leading member of the party, Joshua Alabi, who also participated in the Solidarity Walk, indicated government should concentrate on developing the country and forget about the proposal to change the Founders Day date from September 21 to August 4.
Of March 1957, Osagifu Dr. Nkrumah at the old polo grounds lowered the Union Jack of the British Crown Colony and hoisted the red, gold, green and the black star flag of the Republic of Ghana, and we struck our national anthem for the first time. God bless our homeland Ghana. Freedom! 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 60 years down the line, some imperial surrogates of the imperialist forces want to obliterate the memory of Nkrumah. It will not happen. It will not happen. It will not happen.
So that was Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Koku Anyidoho, today speaking to the gathering that participated in the Solidarity March by the NDC. We'll be bringing you the full report of how that Solidarity March turned out later in the bulletin. But now, a daughter of Ghana's first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Samia Yaba Nkrumah, says the opposition National Democratic Congress NDC is only advocating for the maintenance of September 21 as Founders Day to score political points. She says since the party's policy position in governance is at variance with Nkrumah's philosophy, the party's advocacy about the holiday only exposes their hypocrisy. She was speaking exclusively with Joy News.
What is the use of shouting founder, founder, and go and implement policies that are contrary to the man's ideas? Divestiture of state assets. Under the NDC, that act was put forward, or passed rather. Sale and privatization of state assets, sometimes selling them to ourselves unproductively. That cannot be an Nkrumah's policy. Putting your hands under, putting yourself under the dictates of the IMF, submitting your people to hardship, opening up your markets before you industrialize, allowing big multinationals, biotech companies to try and control your seed market. What is Nkrumahist about that? So you have to come to the conclusion that they are doing it for political gain, for cheap political gain, scoring political points, not because they believe in the man's policies. Because if they believed in the man's policies, why didn't they implement them? So let us cut through the hypocrisy, and go to the heart of the matter. When are we going to revisit Nkrumah's policies and implement them? Adapting them rather, of course, to today's changing circumstances. You know, as we speak now, our 1992 Constitution, look at the indemnity clause. It is upholding military decrees, including the military decrees that were enacted after the illegal overthrow in 1966. They are actually upholding decrees that criminalize Kwame Nkrumah. Nobody protested. The decree that renamed our international gateway, our airports, after one of the coup leaders that toppled the independent government of Kwame Nkrumah, it's legal, it's in law, constitutional. You criminalize Nkrumah, nobody protests. You change the name of the airport. Over the years, you have a chance of renaming it again. Nobody protests. You implement policies that, from an Nkrumah's point of view, are contrary to the welfare of the people. Nobody protests. And you come to Founders Day and you are saying you are an Nkrumahist. You are an Nkrumahist by the policies you implement, not by what comes out of your mouth.
Strong words there from Samia Yaba Nkrumah. So let's hear some of these Nkrumahists she is referring to. Here are the sights and sounds from today's Solidarity March organized by the NDC.
The proposal by the President of the Republic of Ghana for an ally to be sent to Parliament to change the Founders' Day from September 21 to August 4. The NDC says they will not allow this to happen. For Professor Joshua Alabi, this is not the priority now for a country.
We cannot decide to rewrite history. I think that as a nation we should leave this behind us and think of how we can emancipate our people, help our people, get the best for them. That is where our focus should be. Our focus should not be thinking of rewriting history. I don't think that's our focus now. We move beyond that. We all did this history in our class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4. You go all over the world, international books all over, it is written. So why are we as a people trying to write history? I think that we should drop this. Is that we should drop this and move on. We shouldn't spend time on some of these things. Nkrumah is the founder of this country, known in Ghana, known in Africa, and this is known all over the world, right? So our focus now is when you win power, think of how you move another step. So another government comes and then moves to the next step. Not with debating who founded this country. It is written and it's written, and I think that we should drop it.
Of course, this particular work was not without the boos of some members of the MPP. I also spoke to some party supporters as to why they decided to join this particular march.
NDC is still in town. We are not dead. You can see the crowd. I think you also saw the crowd. So if you think we are people that we don't feel the hardship now, will we come out? We are coming out for our people to know that we are in hardship. So they should come out. Let's vote Agenda 2020 so that we will elect JM back. People are crying, even at Makola, they were crying, JM bye, JM bye. Why are they doing so? Because they can't see what is going on. And we want JM to come back. No JM, no 2020.
So have you seen anything good the MPP has done since they came to power?
Anything good? In fact, I will not stand here and lie. No.
We reorganize and motivate our branches. Inshallah 2020 with oneness, togetherness and unity, we shall win the elections.
My name is Hannah Odame for Joy News.
Elders of our party, the Council of Elders, led by our founder, John Rawlings, they are in all the constituencies. They are trying to bring peace. They are trying to help us so that we forgive each other, so that we can stand united, do united works, do a united party, and reorganize our party for victory.
2020.
It won't be long. We shall give you a program. The national executives will give you a program that will show you when exactly the branch reorganization and re-registration of our party members will happen. We are going to re-register everybody.
That was the chairman of the NDC, Kofi Portofi there, ending Hannah Odame's report. Now, the controversies about the relevance of commemorating Founders' Day, among others, as a national holiday is far from ending. Legal practitioner Sam Okujetu has added his voice to the debate. He has put up a strong justification for the commemoration and thus the national holiday, and in relation to other matters. He spoke to Joy News' AM show host Mamavi Owusu-Abuaje.
What I'm saying is that if you say it's a Heroes' Day, then it does not matter what day or so it is, because all the people who are heroes will be celebrated.
Isn't that what we do on the 6th of March?
6th of March is actually the Independence Day. That was the day, the birthday of Ghana. So you cannot confuse
But we still
that.
acknowledge all the people who contributed to
No. That's a different, a clear distinction. You see, to commemorate your birthday is a different thing from other events which will happen in your lifetime. And so the 6th of March is actually the birthday of Ghana. It's the Independence Day. You saw that that was in the Republic Day, that the day that Ghana was declared a republic, when the Queen was no longer Queen of Ghana. That also is there. But I'm just saying that one can raise an argument and say that, why do you have so many holidays in terms of cost to the nation? How much does the nation lose for a day? Because we've even developed a bad habit whereby if the day falls on a Saturday or a Sunday, then we declare the Monday also as a holiday. I don't know where all this came from. But these are matters maybe we should do a little bit of rethinking about and say that, okay, if it is Saturday, let it be Saturday. If it is Sunday, let it be Sunday. There's no reason why you should add an extra day, because in all the productivity is lost. And actually billions of cities is lost to the nation because of that alone. So that to me would be the argument that is worth debating.
What do you make of the intention of the president now to go to Parliament, get to the subsidiary legislation and make these holidays law, really? Because all this while we've been using the executive instruments to declare the days as holidays.
I suppose, you see, the reason to make the thing a law by legislation is just to change this whole idea of one person comes and then he takes a decision as president and then we do it, rather than something that is the law. And therefore, you cannot just come and change it. You remember the argument about, what's his name? Flagstaff House. The person who built it gave it the one name. And then somebody else came and changed it to Flagstaff House because there was no legislation carrying it. Therefore, he just took an executive decision and it was done. It is to prevent things of that nature from happening. Because those who changed to Flagstaff House misunderstood what Flagstaff House meant. That was actually the army headquarters, which Nkrumah, instead of staying in the castle, moved to. The castle was still seat of government, but he moved to Flagstaff House, which was actually the army headquarters. And therefore, the army is no longer there. There was no reason why you should have called the place there Flagstaff House. This is what I'm saying. That, you know,
but if another administration wants to take it out, even if it's a subsidiary legislation, they still can.
Yeah, but it becomes more difficult because you need parliamentary approval. Yeah.
But the executive always has majority.
Well, it is not an automatic thing. It is not automatic, but I'm just saying that one is more difficult than the other.
Now, we have also been soliciting some views from the streets of Accra on what the public makes of this day in particular as a holiday and its relevance among other holidays to us as Ghanaians. Here are some very interesting views shared so far.
You see, when you are home, the office will be left idle. And, you know, the offices, the organization does not live in isolation, you understand? So for us, you are working with people and you are working for a profit. You don't have to leave the organization just like that. And I think the holidays are many. They have to cut some off so that we can work and help Mother Ghana.
I don't think it affects us because, you know, this holiday particularly, it's Kwame Nkrumah. Yeah, we are celebrating him for being a legend. And being a legend, it's even helping us to do something for the nation so that we can be remembered one day.
The holidays are too many. Some of them are not necessary. They need to be cut off. We had a lot of work at the office that we're supposed to do, but here we are going on holidays. We don't even have anything to do. We are just going to be at home when we should have used that time to do the work and continue on Friday, so that by weekends we would have finished with the work we are supposed to do for the week. But here, in this case, some of the works are going to be left out tomorrow. Friday we didn't finish, and we have to leave for next week, when next week should have also come with its own agenda. So it's just a lot that we have to look at it.
The count of the day is
the most important. Whether it is September or it is August, I am indifferent.
Meanwhile, the Convention People's Party has held a press conference to commemorate the 108th birthday of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Addressing a host of party bigwigs and faithful at the headquarters this morning, a leading member of the party, Kwesi Pratt, took a swipe at individuals who chastised the CPP for only touting the ideals of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. He argued that people like Nkrumah, regardless of their shortcomings in history, will always be remembered for their positive impact.
When the motion of destiny was introduced in Parliament, those who today claim that they are co-founders of Ghana were not there. They boycotted the process leading to the attainment of independence by Ghana. They refused to be part of it. In fact, when there was a motion before Ghana for the change of the name from Gold Coast to Ghana, they boycotted the name. And yesterday, I was exceedingly happy when I listened to my brother and friend Kukubaku, no matter what you say about him. Yesterday, he took the transcripts of the parliamentary debate and read them. They were opposed to Ghana. And today, they say that Ghana belongs to them. No problem. You see, the struggle for independence is not over at all. Let nobody deceive himself that that struggle is over. We are still living in a country in which we have only 13.5% of our oil resources. We are living in a country in which our interest in gold mining is about 2 to 3%. We are living in a country in which we control nothing. There's a need to intensify that struggle for the people of Ghana to take control of their natural resources and to exploit those resources for their own benefit. Those who want space, those who want accolades should join that struggle. In this debate, it's a shorthand. It's a shorthand for choosing options for development. Those of us who say that 21st September is the Founders' Day, we are saying that the time has come to end the domination of the IMF and the World Bank in making decisions about us. We are saying that the time has come to reduce utility tariffs. We are saying that the frequent increases in petrol prices is killing the Ghanaian people, is killing industry, and it's not making it possible for us to move forward. We are not just saying that Nkrumah was a Superman who did it all. We are saying that Nkrumah's ideas for African unity, for industrialization of Africa, for the mobilization of the African people to move the continent forward are still relevant today. Nobody can deny the fact that it was Nkrumah who brought the masses onto the stage. When Nkrumah joined the UGCC, it had only 3 branches. One branch in Park Grant's office in Sekendi Tagra, the other branch in Sopon, and the other branch in J.B. Dankwa's office in Accra. 3 branches. It was Nkrumah who brought the women's movement on board, brought the youth movement on board, linked the struggle to the trade unions, mobilized the whole country, and established branches in Tumu, Bolga, Navrongo, Kumasi. So even when it comes to 4th August, Nkrumah is the supreme king of 4th August.
Spirited words from Kwesi Pratt there. Now, we'll take a story on a sad note from the central region just coming in. Now, she went into labor and gave birth like any other woman. But after the birth of the 3rd child, Mary Nyako's husband, Emmanuel Kingsford Hagan, stands to lose both his wife and 9-month-old baby. The 35-year-old Mary Nyako has developed a brain tumor, making her unable to recognize her own child, while fluids have built up in the head of the baby. This medical condition is known as hydrocephalus. Richard Kojonyako traveled to Emisano, a community near Cape Coast, to tell the sad tale of a mother and a baby that are likely to die if they receive no support.
The predicament of Mary Nyakon started after she gave birth to her third child. The child was diagnosed of hydrocephalus, a health condition that occurs when fluid builds up in the skull and causes the brain to swell.
She gave birth to our last baby on December 19th last year. Then from that on, she was behaving somehow abnormally, but we thought it was after birth. So about 5 months ago, it became serious. She fell sick, and then because of that, she couldn't take care of the baby. So we first took the baby to hospital, and then we saw that the baby was seriously sick. So after treating the baby at the Cape Coast Regional Hospital, they directed us to intubate him because it means the head was swollen, and they thought that there was water inside. So they told us to go and then take a scan.
Mary's husband, Emmanuel Kingsford Hagen, a poor farmer who takes very active part in the activities of the Catholic Church here at Emisano, has been supported heavily by the church. The church has made countless contributions to the family in their bid to save the child.
They need to refer the baby to Kolebu, and before then they need to do some scans, head CT scans. And the monies involved were huge. So when I got wind of it, I called the man. In fact, the man told me that when they do referral, he doesn't think he will follow up. He was nearly giving up. So I said no. And I knew the reason why he was giving up is because of financial situation. Because by then, he had spent so much.
Reverend Father Patrick is a Catholic priest in charge of the church. He is almost exhausted the church's fund. The church's account is depleted as a result.
They said that there's a fluid, a cerebral fluid in the head that is all around the brain, and so it's affecting the function of the brain that needed to be drained. So that was the purpose of the operation. So it has been successfully done. So because that's affected the brain, some functions of the part of the body is not very good. So he needs some kind of special attention. That's why I've also contacted this group. So currently the baby is undergoing treatment. He's stabilized now. So he's undergoing treatment, and we need somebody who can care for the baby since the mother cannot care for the baby. And all this involves money. You have to pay the person and all that. So far we have spent over 20,000 Ghana cedis on the baby.
Just as the baby was recovering from the health condition as a result of the support received from Father Patrick and the Catholic Church at Emisano, the mother's health condition began to deteriorate. Doctors at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital said the mother had developed a brain tumor, a condition that makes her unable to recognize her own children. Her sight is failing, and she can hardly walk as well. Her husband is devastated.
So they did two times operation on the head of the baby, and we stayed at the Kolebu for more than 2 months. So I was there taking care of the baby with a certain woman. Then because I was there, her problem also became serious. So when the baby was a little bit okay and I came back, I saw that she has lost sense of control, like answering question properly wasn't there, and she couldn't see as you can see from here. And then controlling the body is also a problem. And she, even walking, you have to assist her to walk. So the doctor, we went back to the hospital, and then we were told that there should be a surgery because seeing the scan that to the help of Father Patrick we did, they said we have to go back to that hospital. And when we went, they said there's a tumor in front of the brain. It has become so big that operation is needed very, very fast.
For now, she cannot walk without any support. She is carried from her room with the support of her husband and some relatives. she can barely utter a word. For now, her condition deteriorates by the minute, and the husband fears if no support comes, he might lose both mother and the child.
The doctor told us that it will be more than 20,000, excluding the medicine and then the admission. And because we spent a lot of more than 20,000 on the baby, in fact, there's no money to use for the operation. So we are soliciting for the public to help us. Other than that, within a short time, we don't think she will be here again.
Reporting for Joy News, Richard Kwejanyako, Cape Coast.
A moving story there from Cape Coast. Now, the Upper West Regional Police Command has arrested 11 suspected robbers, including 2 Burkinabés, for their alleged involvement in residential and highway robberies and motorbike snatching in the northern and Upper West regions. 2 of the suspects, Aminu Dauda, 28, and Salifu Seidu, 24, are suspected to be masterminds of several armed robbery incidents in the Upper East and Northern regions. Upper West Regional Commander of the Ghana Police Service, DCOP Boapia Ochre, disclosed this to the media in Wa. Joy News' Upper West correspondent Rafiq Salam reports.
According to the Upper West Regional Commander of the Ghana Police Service, DCOP Ochre Boapia, on August 15, 2017, 4 armed men went to Pet Veroge's house in Wa, cut a portion of the barbed wire at 2 different spots with a metal cutter and scaled over the fence wall into the premises of the guest house. The robbed guests, who had booked into the facility that night, of their mobile phones, money, and a side pistol belonging to a custom officer. 6 persons, namely Salifu Seidu, 24, Aminu Dauda, 28, Joseph Bonsiao, 42, Dauda Inusa, 37, Tawfiq Lawal, 45, and Mohammed Idi, 30, were arrested for playing various roles in the robbery of the guest house. Then on August 27, 2017, 5 marksmen with pump-action guns blocked the Waboli Road and robbed some traders and farmers of their mobile phones, unspecified amount of money, and fled into the bush. A week later, DCOP Ochre Boapia added that a Benz bus carrying some strangers from Wuchao to Calabar in the northern region were also stopped at the outskirts of Poliamayiri, and the occupants of the vehicles and some motorcyclists robbed off their mobile phones.
The description of the robbers by all the victims of these robberies affected Salifu Seidu and 1 Aminu Dauda, a native of Wa. An intensive search was mounted for them by the police and the military, leading to the arrest of Salifu Seidu on the 8th of August 2017. Investigation led by the CID led to the arrest of Aminu Dauda and the retrieval of an unregistered Abstonic Aloba motorbike, which was identified by Salifu Dauda, a victim of the robbery that was carried out on the 8th of September at Poliamayili. He produced documents of the motorbike, which was registered with number M174552, and stated that it was robbed from him during the robbery at Poliamayili. Suspects' rooms were searched, and 2 single-barrel guns, 27 live AA cartridges, a number of mobile phones which were robbed from passengers at the Poliamayili, and air conditioner remote control, which was also taken from Pedvero guest house, were retrieved from them. Further investigation led to the arrest of Joseph Bonseo and the stolen pistol retrieved from him.
The Sesala West and East districts also have their share of the robbery incidents, as several passengers were robbed of their money, mobile phones, and other personal effects.
On the 5th of August 2017, at about 8 p.m., the residence of a UDS lecturer was raided by 2 armed men and his pump-action gun, laptop, mobile phones, and cash stolen. Then on the 8th of September 2017, at about 7 p.m., 2 armed men on an unregistered motorbike attempted to rob occupants of tricycle rider who was returning from Rio in Burkina Faso market with market women at Sakalu near Tumu. Fortunately, the Deputy Regional Police Commander, DCOP Edward Odro-Kratin, the Regional Crime Officer, Supo Alaji Hussein Awiniba, MP for Sisala East, Honorable Ridwan Abbas, and the Tumu District Commander, ASP Stephen Abaga, arrived at the scene from Nabulu. The robbers took to their heels, but the police pursued and arrested Nabi Salifu and Mohamed Saliao, both Burkinabe nationals. An unregistered Absonic motorbike was retrieved from them, and when it was examined, the chassis number tallied with what was stolen from Sule Molo on Golo Jeffisi robbery the previous day.
DCOP Ochirboapia said the 11 suspects will be arraigned before the law court. Reporting for Joy News, Rafiq Salam.
That's it for today's bulletin of Joy News today. My name is Daniel Daze. Enjoy the rest of your holiday.